I know I said I wanted to see more Mary and Aaron. Nope. Change my mind. The both of them were pissing me off this whole episode. Obviously, until everybody makes up. But I was like, Mary, wipe that smile off your face. Ugh. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me. And you see what happens when the public gets to vote? Drama ensues. 1, the vote makes sense. 2, things happen in the house, okay? Love Island producers, take note. We need to see this format again. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's break it down. So obviously at the beginning of the episode, everyone is talking about the vote. And I just want you to note this in your head. Aaron says, everybody has the right to vote for who they want to. There's no point being mad about it, okay? Remember that. So obviously Priya, before she left, told Faye that she did not vote for them. They do deductive reasoning, and Faye finds out that her friends voted for her as least compatible. Her main issue with them is that they didn't call her out when things were bad, and they supported her when things were seemingly good.
What hurts me is that you guys sat there with me and helped me overcome my insecurities and my self-sabotage, and sat there and didn't say once that you didn't think we were compatible.
I have to agree with Faye. I do. I feel like you had an opportunity, if you really see this woman as your friend, you had an opportunity to pull her aside and say, hey, as a friend, you're wilding out right now. You're not acting okay, and somebody has to check you on it. It shouldn't have taken 4 days and the intervention of producers for her to see the error of her ways. She should have been able to see it on her own, but she didn't. So it's up to her friends to intervene and say something. And then for things to seem like they're better, they make up and everything, you're out here celebrating and cheering as if nothing is wrong. That's also wrong. I find it so funny how on Love Island, everybody talks like when they leave, everybody talks about how, oh, we're all friends. Why? You literally do not have to be friends. You came on Love Island to make a love connection. If you have found that, and it's not to say ostracize yourself from everyone, but you don't have to make everyone your friend. And in this situation, we had people doing up friendship, when in reality, these aren't true friendship connections. It's people you're around, people who you get along with, but they're not your friends. Faye and Teddy start to go at Kaz and Tyler, mainly because they thought it was a strategic vote, and the fact that they worked through their issues, they thought that that should mean they're compatible.
It would have been block, delete, and that's it, move on. And you said that to me.
Yeah, I did.
And
I've said it
that's
to
the thing.
him.
Yeah, but
no
we've
one
come a long way.
Yeah, of course, 100%. But that's always, no, but that's always going to be in the back of my mind.
You can work through your issues and still not be good for each other. And Teddy and Faye are the oldest couple here. Together, they are the oldest. How are you not understanding that? You know? And it's not like the vote was, you're not compatible. It was who is the least compatible. And the fact that Liberty had to be the one to really articulate that, she said, we're basing our vote off of the question. The question wasn't about friendship. The question wasn't about types. The question wasn't about who's your favorite. When you look at each relationship, who is least compatible? And that's what they voted on. Now here goes Faye barking at Jake, which I'm never mad at anybody barking at Jake, to be honest. Basically saying you're disingenuous and all this stuff. Okay, well, here you are being fake, because all this time you were calling him your brother, calling him your bestie, saying, oh, he always looks out for me, all this stuff. I look out for him, whatever. He's my favorite. But now you're saying, oh, I always thought you were disingenuous. He's a showman. He's da-da-da-da-da. You're doing the same thing that you were accusing the other people in the house doing to you. But now that you're the perpetrator, it's okay. Now that you're the one saying it, of course you must be right and everybody else is wrong. No, Faye, no. Even with all that, Chloe and Toby pull Jake and Liberty, and they basically say, hey, we voted for you guys. And the difference with this situation, one, the obvious thing is that Gibberty handled it very well, but I feel like they did because Chloe has been vocal about her concerns about their connection. You know, she wasn't somebody who was supporting blindly, and then all of a sudden comes from nowhere and says least compatible. She's been saying things here and there talking about, hey, look at your man, girl, because I don't know what that's all about. And so when they're confronted with this information, it didn't come as a surprise. Faye is still on her tour. Still on her tour of yelling and screaming, and she's talking to Millie now, and she's still not understanding that the vote was on compatibility.
Babe, we do think you are compatible.
But
and
you
I've
think
said
we're the least compatible?
not the lesser than other people.
Right, okay. I can't really say anything more on it.
That's all. Look, we had to choose someone.
Faye has every right to be upset. 100% she has every right to be upset. If you have these people who you love, confide in, you know, you really thought were your friends, and then they say something that goes against the things that they've been saying to you, it's a betrayal, you know? But I feel like friendships shouldn't be based on fear. And for the most part, everybody's afraid to really tell Faye the real because they've seen how she reacts when things don't go her way. They've seen how, you know, any minor inconvenience in her life or someone else's life warrants this big explosion. Who wants to be friends with that? But then also I'm looking at the girls and thinking, if you knew that that's not somebody who you can be fully open and honest with, why not come and tell her, hey, you know what? I feel like maybe our perspectives don't align or whatever the case may be, and we should just be acquaintances and we just chill. Because you're going with the perception of these are my friends, and when push comes to shove, they don't have your back or they don't tell you when you're in the wrong. That's not a friendship. It's not a true friendship. And I feel like on both sides of the coin, they did not handle the situation right. And now it's coming to light because of this vote. But yeah, I feel like Faye makes it hard to be her friend, to be honest. And sometimes she does overreact. Sometimes she does overreact. And then the other girls, they were being dishonest when they didn't confront Faye, when they really had different feelings than what they were telling her. Ironically enough, even though Millie isn't able to say how she feels towards Faye, she's able to throw Kaz and Tyler under the bus regarding the vote towards Aaron and Mary. Now, this is where my feelings for Aaron and Mary start to change, because the way they handled the situation was very immature, was very irritating, and uncalled for.
All right,
I can't communicate with you if you're not going to
speak.
give me the same respect.
Say what you have to say.
Right,
Say what you
give
have
me
to
a
say.
little bit of respect if you
Say
want
what
a
you have to say
conversation.
then. Say what you have to
There's
say
no
then.
reason for you to get disrespectful because I'm generally just speaking to you. And I don't think you can tell me that's an excuse or a cop-out.
I do have to say, side note, it's so funny how Black people talk with their hands. There was a moment where literally all three of them were at one point like this, like this. I was like, so Black. But they're giving their reasons to justify why they voted Aaron and Mary, and he's like, well, you must not have eyes. Well, I don't agree. Well, all this stuff. Were you not the same person who, when Faye was going on her tirade, you said everybody has the right to vote for who they want to vote for? Now that it doesn't go in your favor, you're upset at Kaz and Tyler for what? The reality is they had more rapport with Brett and Priya, and they knew more about their suitability than they did you and Mary, because you do not talk to them about you and Mary. Just the idiocy in this house, I can't. And then here goes Mary talking about, well, you know, Aaron is my type to a T. Okay, still not the point of the vote, and has the audacity to be smirking the whole time, sees that who she considers her friend, Kaz, is being berated by her man, Aaron, and does nothing. Instead smiles and maybe touches him on the arm and says, Aaron, but she's really not, speaking up. Kudos to Tyler, because Tyler was like, hey, first of all, you're going to pause and listen because she's saying something here and you're wanting her to speak, but you're speaking over her or you're degrading the things that she's saying. That's not fair. This whole altercation just really made me shift my perspective on Mary and Aaron. I did say that I felt like their connection was fleeting. Like, it's here, it's now, it's joyful, it's young, it's vibrant, but it won't really last outside. And maybe it's because of the immaturity between the two of them. I don't know. But yeah, not a fan of them much anymore. All the best to you. If I had a vote. Their immaturity is more on display when Kaz is having a conversation with Millie, basically reiterating the same thing she said back when she was talking to the other two people. And now Aaron wants to pipe up talking about, well, Kaz, you weren't saying anything over that. You weren't giving her an opportunity to. If you would have came with the energy of, let me hear you out, let's have a conversation, you would have heard more than what you did. But you got up, you walked away, you talked over her, you demeaned her opinion. Like, of course it's going to sound like she's, bitching when really she wasn't. I personally am not understanding why everybody felt specifically so betrayed by Kaz and Tyler. I'm not understanding, especially when they're not the only ones who voted for Mary and Thing, but they're the only ones catching this energy. Something about, them trying to paint Kaz and Tyler the wrong way, like production as a whole, it's really grinding my gears. I do appreciate though that the next morning the girls still were standing their ground, the girls being Kaz and Liberty, saying, hey, it wasn't about friendships. We did what we were asked to do. And I'm not going to take it back. We can move on from the situation, but I'm not going to sit here and say I regret doing what I did, because what I did was true to what I believe. Good on you, girls. That's mostly what I wanted to talk about. I just Love Island and this whole kumbaya foolishness. No, it's unrealistic for you to be friends with every single person who comes in and out of this villa. And that's okay. You do not have to be friends. You can be cordial and whatever. However, if you are really friends with somebody, you should not be afraid of them. I feel like that's a rule that everybody should follow. But girls, going forward, now if you're afraid to tell somebody something, your relationship is probably not as solid as you thought it was. Because even when the information is hard to hear, as friends, you should be in a place to be able to say, you know what, this is going to be tough, but it needs to be said. Just saying. There was a talent show at the end. Did Teddy's rap get chopped up or something? Because things weren't rhyming and the flow was off. Like, unless it really was just that bad. Oh, it was rough. What else was in the talent show? Mary's apparently a tap dancer. Didn't see that coming. Millie. Yeah. Chloe's little math thing was cute, even though her math was wrong after like the third equation. And then Faye did a roast, obviously, because like Chloe said, who else can be cruel to everybody but Faye? Excuse me. And yeah, that was it. I think it would have been better if they left that one episode on this high, because it was like you started it off with a high, we're all riled up, and then it plateaued very quickly. So yeah, I feel like production, come on, y'all could have made one episode the one night. That's just my opinion. Until tomorrow, there is a vote, and we're going to see the results of the vote tomorrow. So until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.